Hello, welcome to another Rangaroos Unit of the Week, and today we're taking a look at the Mosquito Pathfinder, available to the 6th Airborne Division. So the role of a Pathfinder plane was a rather interesting role during the Second World War. During the strategic bombing campaign of Germany, Britain decided to mainly bomb at night while the Americans bomb at day, because the British didn't want to get shot at by enemy AA guns and airplanes which could potentially shoot down their Lancasters. The problem, yo, is when you're bombing in the middle of the night, you can't see anything at all. It's pretty hard to see the factory you're supposed to blow up. And that's where the role of a Pathfinder comes in. A Pathfinder plane would usually be like a Mosquito or another Lancaster or some sort of bomber plane would fly 10 to 15 minutes ahead of the bomber formation. Their role was to drop illumination flares, or in this case napalm bombs, on top of the target, so the bombers coming in nowhere to, well, drop their bombs. It was a rather risky operation because you're usually alone and maybe one or two of you Pathfinder planes, and enemy night fighters and all AA guns are going to be shooting at you, so you had to be a pretty damn good pilot, and only really the best pilots were selected to be Pathfinders. And also the Germans started to catch on to this, so when the Pathfinder planes would fly over and drop flares, the Germans would light up even brighter flares in the middle of the field, hoping to confuse the enemy bombers coming in and make them drop all their payload in a French countryside and rather on top of a French factory producing Kar-98 rifles. So in game, the Mosquito Pathfinder is available to the 6th Airborne Division, and there's only one single one available during A phase, and that is it. And it has 3 weapons available to it. So you got 4 20mm cannons and 4 7.62mm machine guns, giving you a total HE power of 10. You have varying rates of fire, but they both have the same range. But honestly, that is enough firepower to really deal with any fighter such as a Messerschmitt or Focke-Wulf rather easily. As well, that's quite a bit of firepower to strafe ground targets, so it's a very deadly arsenal. And of course, you got 4 napalm bombs with 12 HE each, but that is napalm damage over time and an AoE effect of 63 meters. They're the only napalm bombs in game, and if you played War Game, they're very similar to War Game napalm. Well, napalm in general. They just stick on the ground, it sticks to everything, and kills people slowly but surely. Pop down to miscellaneous stats: no armor because it is just an airplane, bad agility, good resilience, 600 km speed, and normal optics capability. So if you ever played Wargame Airland Battle or Red Dragon, you may remember this. Yeah, that's right, napalm bombing at the start of the match. It was a very cheesy tactic, but I will say it's a tactic that we've all probably done. And the Mosquito Pathfinder is an interesting unit in Steel Division, as it is currently the only napalm bomber available in game, as literally only one plane. It's a one-hit wonder. In terms of being able to nape the enemy at the start of the match, it does it okay. It's really map dependent. St. Mary Glees, for example, it works pretty well along the main center road, but other rider maps such as So, especially in 1v1s where the enemy is going to go in 3 or 4 different locations, you're probably not going to be stopping or killing much, and even then it's still rather risky because you never know where the enemy forces are going to be at the start of the match. You do have to guess it. But the Mozzie Pathfinder, apart from being a cheesy napalm opener, is a pretty respectable plane by itself because it has good resilience and a lot of cannons. It can do some great ground strafing, knocking out enemy targets left, right and centre, or mainly stunning up those lightly armoured tanks for you to bring up your Piat squads to blow them up. And the napalm is pretty damn good. They're slightly better than HE bombs, I say, just because the damage over time and how they can completely shut down an area, such as like a Nebelwerfer, which is pretty damn useful. And sometimes I notice when I drop an ape on some units, they don't actually retreat. Well, they are retreating, but they just don't retreat fast enough, and they burn in the hot scoldering fire, which is pretty damn awesome. The one major downside to the Mosquito Pathfinder is it's 190 points, and you're playing a division that only gets 70 points a tick, so it is a rather expensive unit to bring up, and it's also not a ground unit, so it doesn't exactly have that presence during A phase compared to, let's say, getting a big bloody tank. But it scales round to B and C phase because it's still a Mosquito plane, and the napalm bombs are unique and damn useful. So overall, it's a cool plane. I like it. It has a bit of a gimmicky use, but it's a napalm bomber, and if you like hot fire and smelling napalm in the morning, then this plane is for you. And I'm going to leave it off here. This has been another Rouge Unit of the Week. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as usual, please just take it easy.